Hi everybody, hello. We're back with our purple mega flippy flappy. Now today we're going to be working sort of on this, which is part of the left hand side, but we don't actually need to attach it quite yet. And to be honest, it's much easier to work on it when it's just like this. So let me just put my Flippy Flappy somewhere. There's not room on my desk for anything. It's ridiculous actually at the moment. Stay. Right. So what I have is my design paper, and I have cut it off at 10 3/4 inches. Yep, 10 3/4. And I have scored it at 5 inches, and then the next one along, the next pip along. So scored it at 5 inches, then 5 1/8 it is, but it's, if you get that on your scoreboard, score it at 5, then the next pip along, you'll be right, and that will leave you with a piece from that last score line to the end, which is 5 1/2. It's a touch over, but it's about that. That's fine. So that's one piece, and then here we have another piece. You can make it the same, it doesn't really matter. You won't see much of this actually when it's done. And this piece measures 5 1/2, just a little bit light actually, but 5 1/2 will do you. And then I have just come in 1/2 inch and scored, and then I've just gone one pip over towards the hinge and put another score line in. So I've got this piece of card here that's got a really narrow hinge, spine, whatever its proper name is, I'm sorry, along there. Okay, now this piece is going to be the piece that has the envelopes on it. So what we need to do, it measures 8 inches because all our pieces do measure 8 inches, but I'm going to sew it. You don't have to sew it, don't worry. That's funny, it says on my board it's 8 inches, yet when I put the ruler on it's not 8 inches. It's madness. My goodness, just a spit off it, I tell you. So I'm going to make a mark there, which is in the centre, and do the same up here, just so I can get a straight line of where the centre is. There. Draw myself a line along there. Right, so what I'm going to do now is stitch this. Honestly, you don't have to. I just like the kind of added security of it all. So I'm going to say start here, go up there, around there, down to here, and stopping on this side of that line, just stitch along the upper side of that line. Then come down, stitch along the lower side of that line, and then around there, and back up to where you started. It's a bit like one of those puzzles you used to have when you were a kid. Draw a straight line, including points A, B and C. But just once more, start at the centre where your hinge is. Go up there, across, down, then just along the upper side of that line, come down, straight stitch a couple of stitches, then just along the lower side of that line, down here, back up to here. And you might just want to reinforce that, go over it a couple of times, because we're going to cut right up to there. So that's what I'm going to do first off. I hope I've explained everything properly, I think so, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I've stitched around there. I'm just going to trim my ends off, and I've gone over that bit there a couple of times. So now what I need to do is cut up that line, not through the stitching, just the line. Do it with a knife if you prefer. I'm going to use my scissors and be brave. Yikes. Right up to that stitching line. Obviously not through it, but right up to it. There we go. So now we have 2 Flippy Flappies. Excellent. So now I can ink around the whole shebang. I started talking there and I forgot I'd paused you. Right, there we go. We've inked around all of that and we've got these 2 independent flips. And on those we're going to put 2 envelopes. So I should have said this paper, it's got a very light check on the back, or the front I suppose it is really. So I want 2 envelopes. I can never see what this says. Let me just see what size I need them. I need them to be about, well, 4 3/4 would be good. 4 3/4. Forgot a bit of paper. Yeah, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 would be good. 3 1/2. Right, let's see. Now this always taxes my eyes. 3 by 4 1/2. 3 by 5 1/2. No, I think it's going to have to be 3 by 4 1/2. Right, so I need to cut my paper according to this. 6 1/2 by 6 1/2 and do my first score line at, oh my life, I think that's 2 3/4. I don't even know where my magnifying glass is. Does that work? No. Right. 6 1/2 by 6 1/2, and I'm pretty sure it's 2 3/4. Let's take a gamble on that, shall we? Right, so I'm going to use some of this Artie Mays collage papers. Printed some more off this morning. I want one that doesn't really have all of this ornamentation on it. So there's one there. Oh, and the next one as well. Perfect. There we go. So I need to cut it off at 6 1/2 square. That's a bit of a curse because this doesn't go up to 6 1/2, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to get my fine liner out and I'm going to draw a line here that's 6 1/2. So I'm going to get that on the 6 there and draw a line there that's 6 1/2. Why not? So let's cut these at 6 1/2. I probably want more of that side actually than the other, so do that. There we go. 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. Just being slightly selective. There we go. And I want 2 of them, so this one as well. 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. Then we'll see if I've cut them correctly once we start making the envelope. If it doesn't fit, then no, we haven't. Okay. So let's give this a go. What did I say? 2 3/4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 3/4. So let's just do it. Let's get my thing out first. 2 3/4. Put that line in the centre. It's hard to see actually with the light on, but I think it's about there. Oh my goodness, that's hard to see. I have to take this to a different light source actually. The light overhead is not helpful. I think it's about there. Let's hope so. That's easier on the light colour. Might be slightly off this one, but not too bad. Let's make this one up then. So I want to fold these all over that way. And I'll make this the bottom, not for any reason other than I'm going to make it the bottom. So I'm just going to make a mark where that joins there and a mark where that joins there. And I'm going to snip that off. I just think it looks better. So just across there. And then this top part, I'm just going to put it in the back of the little machine, snip that off and it rounds it for you. So that's that. I need 2 of those, so I'll do another one. But I'm going to take it over to the window, I think. Might get on better. But what I'm going to do then is kind of ink the whole thing and then ink, I'll show you. If you haven't got an envelope punch board, it's one of the things I really would recommend. There's so much in the craft line that you think is going to be good and you're going to use it, etc, etc. You buy it and it sits at the cupboard, in the cupboard. It gets in your way because you can't get past it to get the things you really do want to use. But no, my envelope punch board, I use it a lot. And I've also got a mini punch board, which I also use quite a lot. So I'm going to fold these in, but this is going to be the side you see. So I'm going to ink this side all the way around as well. Just like that. And I'm not going to put anything inside there, I don't really want to. I like it being white. And then we can glue this closed. So let's just firm those edges up. Like so. Right, and then take your glue. I buried mine somewhere, I think. Oh no, here it is. And just go down the edge of these 2 bits here. And then round the edge of this. Not the top bit, just the edges, the angled edges. Fold that up and there you have it. A lovely little envelope. Now, moment of truth, does it actually fit where we want it to go? So we want it to go on here, like that. Look at that. That's just a charm, isn't it? Marvellous. So I'm going to continue and do another one of those and then I'll see you back here. Okie dokie. I've made those and what I want to do now is stick them on there. So fairly sort of centrally on each panel. Okay, that's the plan. I'll use colour, I think. Wherever it is. Colour. Where are you? There it is, it's falling over like a drunken man. I'm not going to do this over the top of that because I might just get a blob of glue. It has been known before. I must say, before I started this video this morning, I was on Facebook and I saw Sinead's version of this. And I saw Letha's yesterday. Oh my goodness, you guys, you're knocking it out of the park. You really are. Really, really are. See if I can get hold of this. Right, so I want it fairly central. About there, possibly. Does that look straight? Not really. That doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Let's have a look. I think that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so let's press that down. Lovely. There we go. And same with the other one. Well, we had a lovely day yesterday. Well, I had a lovely day. Went up almost to Edinburgh to a shop called the Mad Scrapper that you've probably heard me mention before. I met the lady called Janine, whose shop it is, and she was just lovely. She's a really lovely lady. And she was showing me things that people have done. She runs workshops that people have done in the workshops using the 49 and market stuff. It's amazing. People are so clever. I'm just going to budge that over this way so it sort of lines up there. For some reason this one's ended up slightly smaller than that one, but don't worry. If the same thing happens to you, don't panic about it. Because it's minuscule. The amount is minuscule. So there we are, we've got that, and we want to put some journaling in there. So let's see. I'm just going to put I'm just going to wipe my hands first. Just going to put ordinary white copy paper in it because it's thinnish. It's not going to add to the bulk, and bulk is our enemies, guys, as you know. So I think if I folded that over in half would be okay. Let's do that. And I just want it sort of like that to about there. So I'll just make a mark there, and then I don't really want it to split. I want it to go like that and crease that along there. And then I can trim off this bit. I don't want that bit. I could make it, you know, I could put more journaling in there, but this is all I want to put in, just for the bulk factor, that's all. So let's just trim that along there so they're equal. Lovely, and I'm just going to do the same when it comes round to it to do the other one. And what I want to add is just a little bit of washi along there, just for a bit of interest, for no other reason. Now the washi tape situation's a bit dire. I did get these at the shop yesterday, but I think they're more sort of tickets and stuff. And I don't even know if they're the right colour. Oh, what are these? These are stamps, I think. They kind of are the right colour. And if you've got purple washi, you're doing well. I just don't. Let's take this off, see what we've got. Oh, I see. Oh, the stamps. So I could put it up that side, couldn't I? That would look quite nice. They're not self-adhesive, they're not stickers. So let's have a look and see. Put that there, yeah, okay. Let's chop that one in half. And I want that one off because it's got tape on it. Presume I was putting it up that side. You don't need to do this. This is just a fuss and a fad for like no reason whatsoever. Apart from, you know, I just like doing things like this. So I'm going to glue this onto the page. It's not exactly the right colour purple, but it's the best I've got. Yeah, I'll do a whole video for all the things that I got yesterday. Oh, I had a field day. So much goodness. Right, let's put this on then. So just a little bit in from the edge. Just like that. Lovely. Now ordinarily I'd say stitch around that. Not sure that's straight. It's probably stuck down now. No, we're all right. There we go, that's fine. And I'm just going to give that a burnish down. There we go, and trim the ends up. Yeah, ordinarily I'd say stitch around it, and if you're using ordinary washi, I would say that's a good thing to do. With this being stamps, I don't know if it would look right if I stitched around it. I don't think so. So I'm just going to put it in like that. Fold that over there. So we've just got our little bit of journaling in there. And it's just enough. Lovely, doesn't that look nice? Now the other thing that I need is a... Oh, don't tell me you're too big. Oh, just don't tell me that. I'm going to have to trim that off. That's a pain, isn't it? Bit of gentle persuasion. I'm quite sure you shouldn't do that to your timber trimmer. I don't think it helps it in any way. So yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's perfect now. So I just need to stop something along here to hold that in place. So what have I got? I'm going to be using it again in a second, so I'll do it then. I've got that. I could use a nice little bit of that. That would be nice. I've got these stamps, but I don't think they're big enough. No. Running out of bits and pieces. Hope the postman brings my blinking next lot of Provence stuff quickly. Well, yeah, it's going to have to be this. I don't have an alternative, which is okay. I like it. So I'm going to just put a piece on that's about that long. I'll tell you how long that is. It's 2 inches exactly. Okay. So I'll cut 2 inches off this side. Oh, dropped it on the floor. Oh, excuse me while I go ferreting for it. And 2 inches off this side because it's got a nice little lavender thing in the middle that I want to preserve. If I can. There we are. So I'm just going to ink round those and stick them on. And then that side of that Flippy Flappy will be completed. So it doesn't take too long really. Then we'll move on to the other side of it. So where do I want this? Which way does it go? It goes right side up apparently. That way, there. So let's put some glue on and then just pop that down. So about there, I think. Looks good to me. Does it look level with the bottom? Yep, it does. Does that come out? Okay, yes. Does it go in? Okay, yes. Lovely, that's great. Right, so I'm just going to do the same to this one and then I'll see you back here. Oh, what am I doing? Right, okay, so I've done that. That's that side, that's that page complete. So let's turn it over and we're going to put 2 other envelopes on here, but you know, different take on them really. So I want some more of this paper because my card is too thick. So these top 2 will do nicely actually. Right, so what I'm going to do is make my envelope from scratch. This is the top here. This is the outside edge. This is going to be stuck to something, this hinge. So, right, what do I want? I'm going to put that on there, like that. And I'm going to allow about 1/2 inch. I'm coming just inside my stitching. And I'm making a mark there, but there's 1/2 inch to the left of that mark. And I'm going to make a mark here. And I'm going to allow myself, let's bring that over, 1 inch. Well, 3/4. No, I'm going to make it 1 inch. We'll see how we get on with that. And then what I'm going to do is, good question, yeah. That is what I'm going to do. I do not know what I'm going to do. Let's get my scoreboard out and fold this paper. So I want, that's right on the edge there. And I'm going to, well, let's just bring it inside the stitching and make a mark there just inside the stitching as well. So that's going to be my score line there. Okay, so let's score that. I'm sure you probably all know how to do this much more easily than I'm showing you. I'm sure you do, but you know, I can only show you what I know. So that's that there. So my score line is at the mark in between 3 3/4 and 4. So it is actually 3 7/8. But it's the mark in between 3 3/4 and 4. So there we are. So now I can fold that over on that score line like that. And then I want to make another score line where that meets up with that. So just at the edge of where they, you know, where that one folds over. So just there, like that. And then I can fold that, crease that over. Right. Okay, I think I'm okay. So then I can get my, sorry about that, Timmy trimmer out do a bit of trimmage. I can trim it to where I marked this top mark. I made a mark there, if you remember, and then an inch above it. So on that one that's the inch above it, I can trim all this off to there. To that mark. Which means that this envelope is almost 6.5. There we go. Right. Oh, and I also need to trim a bit off here. So that's going to fold over there like that. So I need to trim off just this bit here. It's not folded straight, which isn't going to help matters very much. There we are. Let's just put a mark there, and I'm going to trim just inside it, just to the left of that mark. Just. Right, let's see then if we've got something starting to resemble an envelope. That's going to go in there. No, it's still too long. Still too long by a distance, actually. Yeah, I still need to trim a bit off that. So I'm putting it down there, and I'm just holding it up to that score line in the middle, or I'm trying to, and just make a mark. It's about another 1/4 of an inch needs to come off there. There we go. Right, let's try that then, full size. That's going to come over there, or alternatively that can go like that. That's probably better, probably seeing less of that. So either way, we've ostensibly made a trifold that hopefully is going to fit on there, which it does. Oh my goodness, that's perfect. Right, so now I can trim, I can put some score lines in, and I can score at wherever I made these marks here. Let's put it that way around. So this mark here was about an inch in, but you'll see when you put it on your score mat where it is, and score down where that mark is. Score down like that, and this one on the bottom needs a score line as well. Let's just do this first and you'll see what I'm up to. So you want to cut along that line just on the inside of it so you don't see the ugly bump. So right to that line there. Like that, and that will drop out, and then the same on the other side. We do want to put a finger notch in here somewhere. So once I get a bit more organised, I'll see where I want to put that. Right, so here we go. So that goes like that, or was it like that? No, it was like that. We need to sort out the bottom. Let me just check on the page that that's right. Yeah, that's going to be fine. So I'm just going to hold that up to where that needs to go, just inside the stitching, and I'm going to mark on here where I want to score, which is the edge. Yeah, that is the edge. We're all right. So I've got that just inside the stitching here and just inside the stitching there, and I'm going to score down at that. And you'll see what I'm up to in a minute. I'll do the other one as well, because this hasn't been the clearest of instructions, I know that. So there we are. I've got that score line, you can see it there. Yeah. So the same thing, just coming inside the line a little bit, cut off there, along to the line, and cut that off. Come on. And the same on the other side. If you have your favoured way of making these, feel free, of course, to do that. There we go. Right, so now what I want to do is kind of round these edges, and I can't get in with my, I'm saying I can't get in, I wonder if I can. Let's try it. I'll try the 1/4 inch on the bottom, see if I can get in there. Yeah, I can. Ooh, that was a bit, okay, let's try this one. Right, and on the top I'm going to go for the half. Let's see if it works. Well, it does, but it's not. I wonder if I did it with a 1/4, did I? Yeah, I think I did it with a 1/4. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that worked. Right. So the next thing to do is don't forget the thumb hole. Don't forget the thumb hole. So that's going to fold up there like that, and that's going to be our bottom. This is going to fold over at the top. Obviously going to be our top. That's just not the smoothest. There we go. So I'm going to glue that down just like that. Having decided which one of these I want on top. This is the one I want on top. So this one can get trimmed off. Just leave about 3/8 of an inch, something like that, and we'll trim that off. There we go. So let's just check that that all fits nicely. Yes, yes, yes. Lovely, that's great. So I'll need the thumb hole to be in this bit. So what does that measure? It measures 1, 2, 3, a tad over 3 3/4. So let's put that to there. And mark where the middle is, which is there. I'm just going to make my thumb notch. I knew I was going to lose that. This is a new chopper for me. I don't need that in it. I don't know how you get it out, so yeah, it's 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to put that there, kind of as near the centre as I can get it. Oh, I'm making a pig's ear out of doing this one. There, like that. There we go. Right, so that's my thumb notch. So that's going to go there, like that. And you can tuck your bottom in if you like, or you can have it out like that. I prefer mine out. I like to see the workings of it. So that all needs to be inked around, and then you can kind of use that if you like for a template. You know, it makes perfect sense to me to use that as a template. This is the bit that I was going to use. So let's just do that. Why don't we do that? So let's get that straight up there, straight along here. You know, we spent all that time working it all out. Might as well have some benefit. So just carefully draw around it. And you'll be able to see where your score lines are. You know, it'll be patently obvious. There. What's that look like? Looks great. Right, so I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to score it there. I'm going to score it here. Score it across there and across there. So there's 4 score lines. That one, this one, and this one. Okay, and then I'm going to ink them both. So I'll see you back when I've done that. Okay, so I have cut them out, inked them, and I'm just going to glue this one down. So I just put my glue down the edge of the large panel like that, because it's going on top. Bring that over like that. Lovely. Then glue the bottom up like so. Don't glue the top. It would be easy to do, wouldn't it? It would be really easy to do. I'm just checking that fits on there. Just before I go any further. Yes, that's lovely. Glued my finger now. So what I want to do now is glue this down, but I want to leave a section in the centre of the back where there is no glue. So I'm just going to hold my thumb there where I don't want any glue. And you'll see why in a sec. Or, you know, if you've had a good look at the one I made earlier, you know, the one that's finished and has now made its way to Florida. And unfortunately the lady that bought it isn't very well at the moment. So if you're watching, I hope you get better soon. It's miserable when you're unwell. So I'm just holding my thumb there where I don't want the glue to go, which is right in the middle there. And let's pop this on. So I want the edge right up to the edge, like that. And I'm just inside the lines. Yes, that's great. That's perfect. Give that a good press down. So inside these ones I want to put a journaling card, not journal paper. You can put journal paper if you want to. You know, of course you can. It's your journal. So that's that side. Then you flip them over and they'll flip over independently. When they're stuck in place, they will flip independently. Let's come back to this. So yes, I want a journaling card, and I'm going to make it really out of our design paper. Not that one, because I've used that for the... What else have I got? Oh, I've got so much stuff teetered on top of my bin. It's ridiculous. I want something you can journal on, really, if possible. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Yeah, I've got the constellations. Yeah, I think it's time to unleash the constellations. Let's try this one. There we go. Because you can easily journal on that, and definitely on the back. It's very light. So I would like them to measure. Of course, that should go all the way down because there's no glue at the bottom. So about about 4.5. It actually measures up into the crease 4 3/4, but I'm going to do it at 4.5 by 3.5. 4.5 by 3.5. 4.5 by 3.5. Because you know, if I don't write it down, you know what's going to happen. So I need to cut this bit off. So let's cut it off at, oh, wrong way around, at 3.5. Mr. F's gone shopping today, grocery shopping. Nothing exciting. If it was exciting, I'd have gone with him. It's boring. Well, it's not boring when you're hungry and you want something to eat. I'm glad he's gone shopping then. So I'm cutting this off at 3.5. Another big remnant. Lovely. And then I want to cut this off at 4.5. Yes. I know that because I wrote it down. 4.5 and 4.5. There we go. So let's just try those for size. Perfect. That's perfect, actually. Let's just make sure it goes in this one as well. Yeah. That feels a bit tighter, that one. I've no idea why, but it does. But that's all right because they fit. So I'm going to take all the corners off with a 1/4 inch corner rounder. Just means they go in and out more easily. You can stitch around them if you want to. I'm not going to. I don't think it's necessary. Ink around those. It's quite nice, this constellation paper, actually, after it's cut out. I don't feel as negative about it as I did. Just looks like a pretty pattern, really. A little bit on the back, so there's plenty journaling there, back and front. And then we'll just put something dangling at the top so it's obvious that there's something in there. Which is where all this dingle dangle stuff started from, really, when I was doing journals, and I think it was Janya's little book, actually. And I started putting little dangles on things. I'd seen Susie Hines do it. And I like the idea, but now it's gone. I mean, it's gone ridiculous. I attach really big bits of stuff, but that's okay. Right, so let's find the centre of these. About there. Put a hole in, just a small hole. Will do. Oh, covered in glue. I'm going to have to stop in a minute and get rid of some of this glue. Through those. Lovely. And where's my white? No, it's string, I think. White twine is what's needed. Right, so I am going to have to make this thin to go through those wooden. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So I'm just putting a heart on. Doesn't need anything else, I don't think. So there we go. Just through one of them, obviously. And I'm going to put a knot at the top, but allow plenty of space because I want it to come down. I want it to be visible. I'll show you in a second what I'm rambling about. Ugh. Come on. Come on. That's it. So yeah, I mean it's a good 1 3/4 that knot. So pull each one independently, tightens it up, and then we can cut the ends off. Like that. So what I want this to do is go in there like that. Then I want this to hang out like that. And the reason I wanted that length was so when I put that down, you can still see this heart. Now, I thought I had some paper clips out somewhere, mustn't I? So I'm going to put a paper clip on that now to hold the top shut, because you'll remember that we left a bit at the back that we hadn't glued. Really? I did, I promise you. Oh my goodness. I can't find a bit that I didn't glue. Oh, there we go. And I'm using these super cute little paper clips with a heart on. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Got them from Amazon. They're not specialist or anything. So let's put that on there. I'm forcing my way through glue. I'm going to have to open that. And that just holds that still, and it kind of, we've still got a dangly. So I'm going to do the same with the other one. I'm going to have to buy some more of those labels to get some more of these ties. No, I'm sure I can find some thin white stuff somewhere. It's probably about 1 mil, I'd say, if you're looking for white yourself. For my search, I'm going to put 1 mil string or something like that in. 1 mil white string. See if that brings anything up. There we go. So I want to allow plenty again. Tie my knot. Want it up that way a bit. Yeah, about there. It's fine. I'm not fussed if they're not identical. Quite like it, really. There we go. So I'm going to pop that in this one. Just like that. And that hangs there, that folds over, and hopefully we've got a hole in here. Yeah, we definitely have in this one. It's funny, isn't it, when you want things to stick, the blooming well don't. When you do. There we go. So that's that. That's that page done. I just need to go in behind there and just loosen that off a little bit. This might be the tool for the job. Just in there. Yeah, I think that's all right. Let's try that again then. Does feel better. More space. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so now that's it. We've got that done. That's the way it goes, like that. And these flip like so. And next time we'll do what it is that they flip onto. They look nice, don't they? I think they look nice. A nice little added interactive piece. Can't beat interaction in a journal. Alright guys, thanks for joining me today. That's another page we've got done, and the next time you join me we'll do another page. And there's not that many more to do, so don't get dispirited or downhearted. The end absolutely is in sight. So see you again really soon. Bye for now.